Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be getting into the infamous closed granny square. I'm going to be showing you the full tutorial on how to complete this square. Sorry, that was the back. This is the front. You'll really enjoy making these. They're really good when you don't want something that has a lot of holes, but you still want that granny square kind of effect. I'm going to be using some yarn from my stash. I cannot remember where I got this from. I honestly think it was a gift from a friend, and I was only given one. I really love this color, and I wish I could figure out where it came from. But anyways, I digress. So let's get into the tutorial on this closed granny square. Okay, so we'll start by creating our slip knot. And we're going to need a magic ring. You can do yours however you want. I do mine slightly differently. I do have a full tutorial on this process on my channel if you want to go check that out. I'm going to keep that first loop fairly loosely and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That chain 3 does count as our first double crochet. So we're going to double crochet back into that first loop, pull our tail over, and then we'll complete our double crochet by pulling through, pull through 2, and pull through 2. All right, so we're going to do another double crochet, but this time we're going to pull that tail back in the other direction, and then we're going to complete that double crochet. And then now you'll chain 2, and we're going to do this 3 more times. So we're going to insert into that space, making sure we keep working over that tail. You don't have to bring it back and forth anymore. We're just going to keep it like that. And then we'll double crochet 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 2, double crochet 3 again, 1, 2, 3, double crochet 2 again, and then our last set of 3, 1, 2, and 3, double crochet, and then chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 that we had before. So you see that there, and it's going to be that top stitch or that top chain. Work that through there like so, pull it through for the slip stitch, and now you have your box. And then for that, all you got to do is pull it, and bam, it's closed, just like a magic ring. So now, instead of like you would with a cluster for the granny cluster, we're going to work into all of our double crochets. So we're going to chain 3. That chain 3 will count as your first double crochet. And then we're going to just double crochet, turn your work. And you want to turn because if you don't, it'll start to give you this weird vortex and you don't want that. So now we're going to double crochet 2 because we're in our corner. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet 2 more into that corner. And this is how you'll work each one of your corners going around. So now, double crochet into each double crochet. So on this particular round, it's going to be 3 double crochets before you reach your corner. So double crochet 3. You're at your corner, so that's going to be the 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. All right, so now we're back at our stitches. So we're going to double crochet into each one of those stitches. It's going to be 3 of them. And every time we work that corner, those corners are going to increase the amount of stitches that we have going around to make our boxes larger. All right, so we're back at the corner. Again, that corner is 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. And again, we're going to double crochet into each one of those stitches across until we get to that corner again. All right, so now we're back at another corner. You're going to do your 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And because we already have that first double crochet, that's that chain 3, we only have 2 stitches to do here. So double crochet 1, sorry, make sure you get both those loops on there, double crochet 2, and then we're going to look for that third loop, which is right up here. I'm going to go through both of those, and we're going to chain 1. And that gives you pretty much a seamless look because that chain is going to look just like a double crochet. And if this loosens up, you can always tighten it down. When you sew that in, it's not going to go anywhere. All right, so for the next row, we're going to turn our work and we're going to do our chain 3. So that chain 3 counts as that first double crochet that we're going to start on this row. So just remember that when you come back around, if you need to put a stitch marker there to help you, please do so. Also, if you're unfamiliar with this stitch, please check out my How to Crochet video, and you can learn how to do the 3 basic stitches and then come back and work this beautiful square. All right, so now we're going to do what we did before and work in all of our double crochets around. I'm so sorry. Sometimes you get to working so good that everything just slips right off the hook. All right, so there we go. Work into each double crochet of that row until you get to your corner. Again, at that corner, we're going to double crochet 2, followed by a chain 2, and then double crochet 2 again. And then we're going to keep going around and put a double crochet into each one of those double crochet stitches. And as you can see, we're already seeing our beautiful closed granny square getting its shape and starting to form up. This is a really good granny square for like a winter garment, something that you want that's going to keep you warm, or like a winter, what am I trying to say, like a winter hexagon cardigan. This would be a really good stitch for that. All right, we're back at our corner. And a chain 2. Sorry, let's try that again. All right. And now we can double crochet all the way down that row. And if you get a snag, don't even worry about that. It's just because of the type of hook that I'm using. But once I work that stitch, it's going to tighten all of that right on back up. And there we go. All right. And we're just going to keep on going down that row. So complete this round. And once you get done, come back here and I will show you how to slip stitch back into that chain 3 and we'll start our next row. All right, so we're at our last 2 stitches. So we're going to do a double crochet, do another double crochet, making sure that I get both of those loops. And then I'm at that chain 3, which counts as my double crochet. So I'm going to look for that top chain, make sure I get 2 of those loops on there, and then pull that through. And you see how when you pull it through, it looks just like a double crochet. So now we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 3 again. And we're going to work a double crochet into each one of those stitches all the way around, making sure when we get to our corner that we do our 2 double crochet, our chain 2, and 2 double crochet. All right. So we have that chain 2. Sorry. And then 2 more double crochet. All right, so feel free if you want to go ahead and pause the video here, finish up that round, and I'll meet you when we get to that chain 3, and then we can close up this round. All right, welcome back. So we're back at our um, chain 3, and we have one more double crochet to complete here. So let's go ahead and complete that. So there's that double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch right into the top of that chain 3 there, and you want to go under those first 2 loops so you can get 2 loops on there, and then slip stitch and pull that right through. And as you can see, you have a beautiful closed square, and you can't even really see where you seamed it up at because that chain 3 looks just like a double crochet. You see here in this square, once you sew in the ends, it's even harder to see like where exactly that chain 3 is. So really good method I like to use. Whatever you like to use to begin your rows or whatever, do that. Do what's comfortable for you. Sorry. All right, so we're going to do one more row, do our chain 3, make sure we turn our work, and then work into each one of those double crochets across the row. This yarn is so fun to work with. I really wish that I knew exactly where my friend got it from, because I remember that it was gifted to me from some friends of mine that gave me like these really, really cool varieties of yarn, but they only gave me like one of these, and it is absolutely beautiful. So if you look at this yarn and you can figure out where it may come from, please tell me. I would be so forever grateful. So we're at the corner. We're going to do a chain 2. I'm sorry, a double crochet 2, then chain 2, and then double crochet 2 again. And then sometimes that first stitch can hide, so sometimes I'll pull those back just a little bit so I can make sure that I'm getting into that first stitch. And then continue with your row as normal. And I think I'm just going to like work this little skein up into a whole bunch of granny squares and maybe make like a little cute shawl or something out of it. I don't know. I think that'd probably be something cute that I could make out of this yarn since I only have one skein of it. But oh, I really love it. I really love how it feels. I think it's an acrylic, but it may be a blend. It's really, really soft, even with the strand of speckle going through it. So this is a really, really fun yarn. And if you don't know what yarn this is and you know something that's similar to it, you can tell me that too, because man, I'd love that one. All right, we're back at our corner. Sometimes I just get to working so good that everything just slips off the hook, and I always wonder if that happens to anybody else. But all right, we're at the corner, so we're going to do our 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then double crochet into each one of those stitches all the way across that row. And you can make these as big or as small as you want, and you can connect them by sewing them together, or you can do a seamless method by adding the double crochets together, which I'll make a tutorial on that. It's simply, instead of sewing, you'll start your double crochet on this side, hook it in, and then put it together, and it creates a really, really cute seam. But there's no sewing, which I am all for no sewing. As much as I do really love to sew, if I can find a method in my crochet that allows me not to have to sew, I will definitely go that route. Alrighty, and we're going to complete those double crochets until we get to that corner again. Yeah, I don't know. I think this yarn is a blend because it just kind of feels like it may have a little bit of wool in there. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I know I love it. All right, so we're at this corner. We're going to do our 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet right back into that corner. Making sure we work into that first stitch there because it does like to hide. So if you have to pull those back, make sure you do so. Or when you're on that previous row, you can put a stitch marker there if that helps you. But I don't like doing the stitch markers on that particular part because they'll get to knocking around on my nails and it's just not all that fun. So I'm going to keep on double crocheting all the way around, making sure we have 1 double crochet in each one of our double crochet in the row below until we get to our corner. Right, and again, when you get to that corner, you're going to do your 2 double crochet in the corner. So 1, 2, and chain 2, and 2 double crochet right back into that same corner space. And for this particular square, that's always going to be how you work those corners. But there is another closed square that I'd like to show you where the corners are worked just slightly differently. And I'm going to make a tutorial on that one soon because it is really fun. You can do all kind of fun things with it. The corners on the other one I'm speaking of is worked in a completely different stitch. So really, really fun. Adds a lot of texture. But I'm not going to get too much into that. We're at that last double crochet with our chain 3. So we got those 3 chains. We're going to make sure that we're going into that top chain and not that next double crochet. And slip stitch that right into there. And look at that. We have created a beautiful square together. And we could just keep making squares and seam these together, or we could seam them together like this, which that is actually really cute. I may do that and then see if I can find another yarn to fill that in with and make a cute little shawl. All right, anyway, getting ideas. But we completed that together. So when I'm doing things that I have to sew together, I don't like to chain here because it's going to create that bump and it kind of annoys me. So I'm just going to cut away and pull that straight out. And you see it still locks it in place, but you don't get that extra little knot there. And it's clear where you're going to have to sew or where you're going to have to put your hook. Sometimes that knot can cause a little bit more pulling and it makes it difficult to see where that actual stitch is. All right, so you're finished with this. You would just sew in your ends and then do whatever with it you please. But I am going to keep on making these squares, and when I'm done, I'll block them, and then I look forward to showing you what I am going to make with this. And you can see this square is a little bit smaller because I use a different hook. I was just playing with swatches to see how I like it, but I think I'm going to go with my Susan Bates 5.5 millimeter for whatever I'm going to do with this because I love how drapey, how much more drapey it is. Like this has drape too, but you have to block it to get the most out of it. This doesn't even really have to be blocked or steamed. So there you have it. Thank you so much for coming to Impressions Crochet to crochet with me. And please check out the other tutorials that I have available. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you for crafting with me and have a wonderful day.